Hi, and welcome to this real English lesson with me, Anita. In this lesson, we're going to work on the grammar in a dialogue about checking into a hotel. Yes, I said grammar, but don't give up yet. First, just think about why English grammar is even important. Of course, you shouldn't worry too much about making grammar mistakes when speaking English, since that's part of learning and improving. But if you want to fully understand native speakers when you're traveling, and if you want native speakers to understand you, it's always best to prepare some grammar. So think about the situation you might be in and try to imagine, what information will I need? What questions might someone ask me? What questions might I need to ask someone? And what problems might happen? Then, for each of these questions, think about the grammar you'll need. In this lesson, that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at a situation that might happen when you're traveling. This dialogue is about checking into a hotel and a problem that might happen while checking in. So, let's get started. Here, the verb made is in the past simple, the past of make, made. We use the past simple for an action that's finished at a specific point in the past. It's done. Let's think of other examples of the past simple we could use at a hotel. For example, the past simple of to book is booked. Booked. Here's an example. I booked a room with 2 queen beds. I booked a room with 2 queen beds. The past simple of order is ordered. Ordered. Here's an example. I ordered room service twice. I ordered room service twice. And the past simple of pay is paid. Paid. I paid with my credit card. I paid with my credit card. Use the past simple for actions you finished in the past at a specific point in time. Our next sentence with a highlighted expression is, the room should be under Michael Johnson. The room should be under Michael Johnson. The verb should is called a modal verb, and it's always followed by an infinitive. In this case, the infinitive is be, should be. Modal verbs like should never change, so don't add s or ed or ing to should. The verb should is most often used for making suggestions and recommendations. For example, what should I do means what do you suggest I do? But in the example we see here, should can also be used to express expectations. So when our guest says, the room should be under Michael Johnson, he means, I expect that you will find a reservation under my name, Michael Johnson. Let's give a few more examples of how you might use should in this way at a hotel. A receptionist might say, you should find a room service menu in your room. You should find a room service menu in your room. And you, as a guest, could confirm prepayment by saying, you should see a full payment made for my room. Again, you should see a full payment made for the room. Let's move to our next highlighted sentence. The hotel receptionist says this: when did you make your reservation? When did you make your reservation? Here we have the past simple again, but in a question form. For past simple questions, you need the verb did plus the infinitive. In this example, did plus make. Now with WH questions, meaning questions that start with when, where, who, what, why, and how, the did verb follows immediately after the question word. When did? Then the subject and infinitive follow. When did you make? Let's try some other examples. For a past simple question with the verb stay, we would say, did stay. For example, when did you stay at the hotel last time? One more time. When did you stay at the hotel last time? For a past simple question with the verb put, it's did put. Where did you put my suitcase? Where did you put my suitcase? And for a past simple question with the verb check in, did check in. What time did I check in yesterday? What time did I check in yesterday? For yes and no questions, start your past simple question with did. Did you see my room key? Did you see my room key? Remember, the only verb that doesn't follow this pattern in this past simple is the be verb. We don't use did with the be verb. Use only the past simple form of the be verb alone. Was or were. For example, you could say, who was at the front desk this morning? Who was at the front desk this morning? Or, what time were you there? What time were you there? What time were you there? Our next sentence again uses the past simple. There was is the past simple of there is. You might remember we use there is and there are to talk about things we can see and things that exist. There is singular, and it changes to there was in the past simple. There are is plural and changes to there were in the past simple. Let's look at some examples where we could use there was and there were at a hotel. Let's start with there was. There was a lot of noise from the street last night. Can I change rooms? Again, there was a lot of noise from the street last night. Can I change rooms? There wasn't a hairdryer in my room. Again, there wasn't a hairdryer in my room. How about examples with there were? There were 2 people on my reservation. There were 2 people on my reservation. And in the negative form, there weren't any bath towels in our room. Again, there weren't any bath towels in our room. The next phrase to focus on is this one. Sometimes it doesn't hold the rooms properly. Sometimes it doesn't hold the rooms properly. Here, the word it refers back to the hotel's system, meaning their reservation system. The verb hold in this case means the same thing as book or reserve. We see it used in the present simple, since this action is something that repeats sometimes. Again, to use present simple in the negative form, we use don't or doesn't plus the infinitive. So hold becomes doesn't hold in the third person singular. It doesn't hold. Let's try another example of the negative present simple with the verb hold. Our hotels don't hold reservations for more than 24 hours without payment. Again, our hotels don't hold reservations for more than 24 hours without payment. And a negative present simple with the synonym book. Book. Our system doesn't book reservations without a deposit. Our system doesn't book reservations without a deposit. Our next highlighted sentence is there anything you could do? Let's start with the expression, is there? Now, we already discussed how to use there is and there are to talk about things we can see and things that exist. There is singular and there are is plural. Now, to ask a question about what exists, we simply invert or change the order of these words. Is there? Are there? For example, you could ask, is there a pool in this hotel? Is there a pool in this hotel? Are there any good restaurants nearby? Are there any good restaurants nearby? In this sentence, the guest asks, is there anything you could do? Now, could is another modal verb, like should, that never changes. It's always followed by an infinitive as well, like do, could do. We use could to express possibility or past ability. We also use it to make polite suggestions and requests. In this example, it asks about the possibility and makes a request. So, is there anything you could do means, can you help me in a polite way? Let's use could in other hotel situations. For example, you could request the bellhop. Could you help me with my bags? Again, could you help me with my bags? That's a polite way to ask, is it possible for you to help me with my bags? Or you could ask the front desk, could I leave my suitcase here until 2 p.m.? One more time. Could I leave my suitcase here until 2 p.m.? Our next highlighted sentence is, unfortunately, I do see that we are sold out tonight. Unfortunately, I do see that we are sold out tonight. Why does the receptionist say, I do see, instead of simply saying, I see? We add do or does before a main verb to give extra force to or emphasize the main verb. In this case, the receptionist is emphasizing that they have completed the action as they promised to do, to see if there was an available room. Notice that in conversation, extra sense stress is given to the word do or does. They said, I do see that we are sold out tonight. I do see that we are sold out tonight. Here are some other examples a receptionist might say. We don't have 2 queen bed available, but we do have a corner room with a king available. Again, we don't have 2 queen beds available, but we do have a corner room with a king available. Or you as a guest could say, I don't care what floor we're on, but it does matter that we have an accessible room. Again, I don't care what floor we're on, but it does matter that we have an accessible room. Let's go to our next sentence with the highlighted grammar structure. I'll ask them to check their reservation system to see what we have ready now for you over there. In the expression, I'll ask them, we see the future simple tense, will plus infinitive. In this case, I will is contracted to the short form I'll. You may know that the future with will is used to predict the future, to express a sudden decision, and to make promises, requests, and offers. So which case is this? Here, the receptionist promises to do something, to check the reservation. Let's look at other cases of how will could be used at a hotel. How about for an offer? The bellhop might offer, I'll help you with your bags. I'll help you with your bags. And you, as a guest, could use will for a request. Will you give me a breakfast voucher? Again, will you give me a breakfast voucher? Our next grammar structure is what we have ready. Have something ready. In English, we use the structure have or get with the adjective ready to mean that something is prepared for use. The adjective ready here means prepared or done or finished. Let's look at some other examples. The front desk might say, we'll have your room ready for you by 3 p.m. Again, we'll have your room ready for you by 3 p.m. They might also say, we'll get your room ready for you by 3 p.m. And you as a guest could ask, what time will you have my room ready? Again, what time will you have my room ready? And if you send laundry to housekeeping, you could ask, when will you have my laundry ready? When will you have my laundry ready? In our final phrase, the front desk says, and I'll see about an upgrade given the inconvenience. Given the inconvenience. What does the word given mean here? You may know that given is the past participle of give. But here we have an interesting use of given as a preposition. Given in this case means in view of or considering. In other words, this phrase means I'll check if we can give you an upgrade considering the inconvenience to you, or since this was an inconvenience for you. Let's look at some other examples of how to use given at a hotel. If you check in late at night, you might say, given how late it is, I don't think we'll use our food voucher today. Again, given how late it is, I don't think we'll use our food voucher today. Or, we'd prefer to receive credit instead of a free breakfast, given how early we have to check out tomorrow. Again, we'd prefer to receive credit instead of a free breakfast, given how early we have to check out tomorrow. And there you have 12 grammar structures that you can now use to communicate effectively the next time that you're at a hotel. Be sure to review and practice these so that you can use them with confidence. Now, you can go straight to the exercises below to start practicing. Happy travels, and see you next time.